I have been wanting to film this video for a while now because I'm so curious how much time I actually spend knitting throughout a work week. I work just a pretty standard 40-hour a week, Monday through Friday job, and I've never actually timed myself to know how much I'm knitting throughout the week. So starting on Monday and ending on Friday, I am timing myself every day of the week and just taking you through my week as I try to knit as much as I can. I specifically chose a week where we didn't have anything planned in the evenings, so I'm kind of just going about my life. I am really focused on one project right now, and so that is what I ended up working on for the entire week. So you'll see when I introduce the project. And if you're curious, like what I do for work, I work in a user experience department at a tech company. I feel quite lucky that I get to like knit during meetings and stuff every now and then. I do go into the office several days per week, and I don't take my knitting with me generally, unless I'm like knitting on my lunch break. So let's kick this vlog off on Monday. Hey everyone, welcome to Monday. It is just past 8:30 p.m. and I'm checking in with you for the first time because I just stopped working for the day. Occasionally I have some late meetings. I would say about one day a week I end up with some late meetings, but they're usually not this late. So I'm about to go take my knitting and sit on the couch. The project that I'm currently working on is a new one. I am filming a project vlog on it, but I have cast on the Lakes V-neck pullover by Ozetta in this lovely poppy blue color by Knitting for Olive. It's like my favorite colorway of theirs. And I'm working on the body right now. So this is just mindless stockinette at this point, which is exactly what I need right now. So I'm really glad I'm working on this project. I was able to get a little bit of knitting done just while I drank my morning coffee before work, and then a few minutes here and there during some meetings where I wasn't interacting a whole lot. But in total, that amounted to 21 minutes and 13 seconds. So not a whole lot, but better than nothing, which is some days. Some days I don't knit at all. This week I am trying to at least knit every day. We'll see how that shakes out. But I do need to go to bed soon, so I'm gonna go sit on the couch and work on my knitting. It's Tuesday. I am conveniently wearing the color of the sweater that I'm currently working on. I have hit just over 2 hours on the stopwatch. I am recording each day. So for Monday, I hit 1 hour and 18 minutes. And then today, during work meetings and a little bit before work, again, that's kind of my routine, I was able to knit for just under 44 minutes. And I've just been working on my Lakes V-neck pullover. So I'm getting actually pretty close to where I will be starting the ribbing on the body. If I stick to the pattern, I need to make a decision on that. I would say on a good day, I can typically get like 45 minutes to an hour, just like in the morning and during the workday, depending on what kind of workday it is. Some days are so busy I can't even think about knitting, but some days I need my mindless knitting to stay focused on the meetings that I'm in. So I would say it's been a pretty typical week so far. Obviously, we're only 2 days in. Tomorrow I will be in the office again, and I do have a lot of work tasks to get done, but it's a little bit lighter on the meetings, so we'll see what that means for my knitting. But tonight I do plan to continue to knit. My partner is making us dinner. I just finished up my work day about 20 minutes ago, and I was working on some other YouTube things. And then after dinner, I'm gonna go to the grocery store, buy our groceries for the week. I also have some other errands that I need to run, as well as some chores just to do. I need to like get some laundry done, do the dishes, all of those fun things. But I think all in all, I will get another solid hour at least of knitting in today. So we'll see if that happens. Okay, it is just past 8 p.m. I am just now sitting down for the night. I went to get groceries for the week. We had dinner. We hung out for a little bit, watched some YouTube together. And now I am gonna sit on the couch and get some knitting in. So my stopwatch is still at 2 hours. And I expect that I'll get maybe close to 2 hours of knitting time tonight. I did get some laundry done earlier, so I think I am kind of set to just do what I want for the rest of the night, which is always a great feeling. So I'm gonna go chill, probably with some YouTube, maybe with a TV show. I haven't decided yet. I don't really have a show that I'm watching at the moment other than just watching The Pitt as it comes out, which is phenomenal. I just finished season 4 of Bridgerton. It was so good. Oh, and I'll probably just work on my Lakes pullover since I'm really on a roll with it right now. If I want to switch it up, I might grab my Manhattan hat that I'm working on. I'm only a little bit into that project, but that's another recent project that I've started just for some mindless knitting. So if I want to do something different, I might try to find that. And if not, I'll just be working on my pullover. Hello besties, it is now Wednesday. I got home just a bit ago and wrapped up work. I also got caught in the rain on my way home, and I didn't have a rain jacket with me because, I don't know, I didn't look at the weather, and it was supposed to pour all afternoon, so I got caught in the rain, and that was a fun little adventure. And I have some bad news, which is that I didn't knit nearly as much as I thought I was going to yesterday. I got really tired and went to bed early, so my total for the day was 1 hour and 28 minutes, which brings my total for the week to 2 hours and 46 minutes. I do think that this is pretty accurate for me, even though I did think that I was going to be knitting a little bit more this week, but this work week has put me through it a little bit, so I feel like I'm kind of lagging this week, but I am gonna try tonight to knit because I haven't knit at all today yet. This morning I did a workout before work instead of knitting. What a concept. I'm trying to get back into it, and I didn't have any meetings that I could really knit through, and I didn't really take a lunch break. So that was my day, but now that my workout is done for the day, I plan to just knit a little bit before dinner and then knit after dinner until I go to sleep. Either I will be cooking a chicken shawarma dish with naan and hummus and basmati rice, or we will get takeout of pho. Yum, that sounds really good right now. It has been raining all day, like I said, and that just sounds like it's gonna hit. As for what I got done last night, still just working on my Lakes pullover, and I did make it to the ribbing, just barely, and I'm experimenting with not going down a needle size for the ribbing, mostly because I don't want it to cinch in at the waist. Also because I was lazy and didn't want to get a smaller needle size, but this is something that I have been wanting to try, and I figured this was a good sweater to test it out on. So we'll see. I am doing combination knitting, which means that my purl stitches are a little bit tighter, so I still think my knit columns are gonna look fairly neat, but it is a 1x1 rib, which is always a bit of a struggle. So we'll see what this turns out looking like. If I hate it, I will rip it back. Okay, I think those are all my updates for the day. My life is so boring that I don't know how this video is gonna turn out. I just wanted kind of a more chill video because most of my videos tend to be very long and also full of like technical information, and sometimes that's just not the vibe. Sometimes you just want something easy to watch that isn't taking up all of your brain space. So I hope that this is that for you. Definitely let me know what you think. So I am going to take a little break before we figure out dinner, and I'll talk to you later. Okay, hi, it is now Friday, and I'll tell you what happened yesterday In the morning at the start of the day, I got some stressful news, and as that set in and compounded with all of the other stressful things happening in the world right now, I broke out in stress hives on my face. You can kind of still see them, but I just didn't want to be on camera. So it was not my best day, and I have considered canceling this video multiple times. These are not my best moments, but you know what? This is life, and it's just what happens, and I have those days where I just don't knit as much. However, yesterday was the pit day, so I did get 47 minutes of knitting. That's the only knitting I did. I just knit while I watched the pit, but it was a much needed distraction at the end of my day. I also ended up making the chicken shawarma and hummus meal. So it was all in all like a nice end to the day. And now we are starting new. And it's Friday, so things are gonna be okay. And I'm gonna keep knitting. I have made it to the bind off on my sweater. This is the only project I've worked on this week, which is like not that typical. I do typically work on like a couple projects at least, but I do have those weeks where I'm just very monogamous. I'm very focused on my project. So I have completed 3.5 inches of ribbing, and I've just started the Italian bind off, like just started right before I turned the camera on. So all in all today, I have knit for a total of 1 hour and 47 minutes, which is a lot, given that I still have most of the evening left and will probably be knitting for that time. I think for dinner tonight, we're just gonna keep it very simple. I'm gonna make a frozen pizza, and it's gonna be a really chill Friday evening. We do have plans starting tomorrow afternoon through the rest of the evening, and then also some plans on Sunday. So it's gonna be a little bit of a busier weekend, less knitting on the weekend. And so I really want to try to get as much knitting done today as I can. However, I will also be spinning a little bit. I want to start a new spinning project, so I'm going to be working on that. But like I said, I have the whole night to work on projects. So I really think I can get quite a bit more done tonight. And I need to figure out if I'm going to work on another knitting project or if this is going to be it. I kind of just want to keep working on this because I'm making such good progress on it, and I can definitely get the bind off done tonight. So that is the plan. My partner and I might hang out for a little bit, but he's working on his own hobbies. I'm working on my own hobbies. So I think we're just gonna have, like I said, a very chill evening. And I, of course, will be tracking how much I knit for the rest of the night, and we'll check back in. It is later the same night. I just changed out of my hand knit because I'm drinking some red wine and I don't trust myself. But I haven't done any knitting yet. I've just been prepping some fiber that I will share in an upcoming video. It is just about to be 8 p.m., which is when I've noticed I typically have finished dinner and wrapped up anything I needed to do for the day and can just sit and knit. So that's kind of interesting. But I have decided what I'm going to do with my night. I'm gonna watch Weapons. I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard a lot of different things about it, so I'm very curious to see what it's like. And I will just be working on my Lakes pullover. I am gonna finish prepping my fiber, so that's gonna take a little bit of time at the start of the movie, and then I will move on to my bind off, start my stopwatch, and then depending on how the movie is going, I might try to pick up for the neckband, or I might switch to a simpler project. Whatever I decide to do, I'll let you know. Okay, I loved the movie. I also loved Barbarian, so I wasn't too surprised. And I finished binding this off literally as the credits rolled, so the timing was perfect. So I am now at just about 3 hours of knitting for the day. I might keep knitting for a little bit longer, or I might just go to sleep. So I will check in with you tomorrow and let you know what my total for the week is. I did not end up knitting anymore last night. I went straight to bed, which means our total time for the week is 8 hours and 28 minutes and 5 seconds. I feel pretty good about that number, even though I am always wanting to knit more frequently than I do. And I would like for my knitting and my projects to be a little bit more of a focus in my life than maybe they are at this moment. At the same time, I feel like being able to spend that amount of time on a hobby and do something that I enjoy doing is definitely a privilege and is maybe not something that I'll have for, every era of my life. So I think keeping all of that in mind, I would like to be a little bit more disciplined with my evenings. I noticed throughout the week that each day I was kind of settling in for the night at about 8 p.m. So that leaves me only a couple of hours before I need to start getting ready for bed. It just was interesting to see what I actually am able to get done in a week, and is definitely motivating me to stay focused in the evenings and actually commit to doing the things that I want to do. This was kind of a different video for me, so I'm definitely interested to hear your feedback. Let me know if you liked it or if this isn't something that you're interested in. Thank you so much for being here as always, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.